Okay, guys, so you can see what time of week it is again. Yeah, so yeah, I was at the car boot on at the weekend, and I've never seen so many computers there. There must have been about 20 computers, but quite a lot of them I didn't want because it was like LGA 775, and they aren't really worth anything. There was a number of them which were like first generation i5, i3, maybe an i7, with kind of like the HP or Dell, so they got some kind of like generic motherboards in them. I didn't really want them. There's one guy had about a dozen, and he's the one I bought off several times before. And I went through and I picked 3 out. So I got a couple of i3 or i5s, I think they were i5s, with like H61 motherboards in, so second gen. And then there was an i5 4460 because I got the heatsink off it. H81, so a 4th gen. And I kind of offered him like 20 for the 4th gen and like 10ish for the others, and he got really a bit annoyed, thought I was taking the mick, you know. And I probably was a bit, to be quite honest. So I wandered off, and I came back and offered him 50, but by this point he was annoyed with me, so nothing happened. And I didn't want to spend. I mean, if I give him one, 20 each for the second gens and 30 for the other, that would have been 70. But anyway, he was in such a bad mood I didn't bother. And the other reason I didn't bother, I'd got my eye on some job lot of GPUs actually on eBay, and I thought I'll have a stab at them. So had a stab at them and got them. So I was quite pleased, really. So we got some GPUs coming to look at, and I've got a few more that subscribers have sent to look at as well. But as I was kind of like walking back up to the market, there's a guy, I do buy off him quite a bit, and he got this whole bloody thing, and I didn't want it. I told him I didn't want it on the way down, yeah, and he was kind of like not having any of it. And so on the way, he just like thrust it into my hands in the end, this thing here, I mean, God knows what it is. It's dirty, it's Dell. He kind of like just stuck it in my hand as walking past and demanded €10 off me, and I still didn't want it, but I give him €10. I'm just too soft sometimes with these guys. So I've got this thing. God knows what I'm going to do with it, but can I get €10 out of it? It's a Pentium D, I know that much, and it's kind of like an integrated. Well, it's not exactly integrated because this thing comes off the back, yeah. This comes off the back, so then you've got like a 4:3 aspect ratio flat screen monitor, and you've got this thing. Yeah. But when you zoom that out a bit, you'll see it. Well, there you go. So having not really wanted it, I've ended up with this. So okay, and then another guy had this. Trying to get into the shot. He had this, yeah. Let me move some of this stuff a little bit, and then somebody else had this, which I got off him for £5. Says it's well, it shows like a captive cable, and it says it's a 550 watt ATX. Now there you go. Let's have a look at some more up-to-date power supplies. But in the box was this thing, yeah. So I've got some handful of leads with it, and this is obviously yeah, one of these, and it's a 750 watt Corsair. So I can only guess that this has come out of a computer, and they've put the other one that came in this box in the computer, and then this is the faulty one. So yeah, I thought that might be worth having a nosy at that. So we got that as well, and that was €5. I think this is more likely to have any profit than that thing, but let's look at that thing first, yeah. Let's see what I've actually got here, and is it even possible to make like €10 out of it. So this actually came with this as well, which actually I thought might be more interesting than the computer and the monitor. It's a 12 volt 18 amp supply, and I think actually this is what swung it really, the fact that this was with it. He says this works, by the way. I don't know if this is going to be correct or not. There we go. He says it works, but we've got this with it, so it's rather beefy and slightly out of focus. Power adapter, yeah, come on, guess. There you go. Okay, yeah, so you can see it, yeah, so it's 12 volts, 18 amps, and I think that's actually probably worth the €10. Answers on a postcard, as he used to say, yeah. It's sort of like this thing on the end of it. So let's plug this in and let's see if it actually does anything, yeah. So this kind of comes out the back of the monitor. Doesn't seem any power input. Oh no, there is a power input on the monitor. So we need a couple of power leads. I'm not sure what this thing is actually for then. It's powering something, but there's no way for it to connect onto this. And this has got the big chunky 18 amp supply into there. So yeah, let's get a couple of power leads and see what this thing actually does. Okay, so that's all kind of like plugged together, yeah. I'm quite non-committal about the whole bloody thing, really, but I only bored stuff him to humour him, to be honest. But anyway, power's on. Oh, something happened. It came on and then went off again. Oh, yeah, it's booting up. Well, something's happening. Oh, okay. So we have a picture. We have a picture. ID configuration, CD-ROM, blah blah blah. I better get a keyboard, hadn't I? Okay, so there we go. So I'm not sure how clear that's coming out on the video because the camera doesn't seem to be totally focused on it. Let's see if I just improve that somewhat. Get a bit better focus on it. Doesn't seem too keen to do that. Okay. Yeah, okay. Better. So it's 2.8 gigahertz Pentium D, dual core, so it says, and like 2.5 gig strips, DDR2, drives. Not sure if it has a hard drive in it. Oh, well, maybe. No, maybe not. That's switched off. Let's not mess with anything here. Let's just see. Huh, okay. Well, look, it seems to do something. Yeah. So let's try and save the settings, and then let's just see what this actually do. Is F10 to save as they normally are? Not on this BIOS. Typical. Let me figure out how to save it. Okay, well, it looks like there's no hard drive in it, which doesn't surprise me. I think this guy, there's rarely any hard drives in the things when I buy them. Let's set it up and let's see if it was actually worth having other than the power supply, yeah? Let's have a look. Okay, so Dell Optiplex GX620 it says on it. Say Pentium D, got an XP license on it, which, you know, I keep a note of these all the time. Let's see if I can get it open. Let's see actually what's inside it. Yeah, no hard drive in it, just a couple of drive rails in here. It's quite hot. I don't know if the fan's working properly or not. Oh, a chunky looking heatsink on this actually. Other than that, I don't know. Bit of RAM. So no, there's not a lot here, is there? I mean, it works, but as to if there's any use, I don't really know. Yeah, a couple of 512s as it said. Maybe somebody can find a use for just a neat little computer, but I rather fancy the power supply. Let's have a look to see if this motherboard is actually even saleable. Yeah. Huh. I actually have a use for it. I mean, it's not too big a thing. It's quite small. This. We've got a roof terrace at the house, so it's like a south face. You've got a big roof terrace with sun lounges and a barbecue up there and astroturf on the roof. Yeah, the cessped as they call it in Spain, astroturf. And I'm thinking, I've got some Bose speakers which I wanted to put up there, and I've got an amplifier which is in the UK, but I'm going back to the UK next weekend just for a few days, and I wanted something to play MP3s basically music on the roof, and I think this will be ideal for that. Actually, put a little cabinet up there, stick it up there, and I can just use it for playing music, and I think that's fine for €10. Quite happy with that, to be honest. So yeah, got used to that one. At least it's not going in the bin, and I'm sure I'll get me €10 worth of fun out of it. Okay, let's have a look at this power supply. Let's see if that's worth having. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, this is a Corsair RM750 modular power supply, 750 watt. Doesn't match what it says on the box it came in, which makes me suspect it's probably faulty. RPS 0019 is the model. So I've got it connected to my light bulb. I'll just make sure it's set to limit. It's set to limit. But it's only a 65 watt bulb halogen thing, so they might not like it anyway with the PFC in here. Yeah. But let's just power this up on the light bulb and let's see what it actually does. Well, it does nothing. Yeah, so the bulb doesn't light up. Ah, spotted the first issue. Yeah, switch that switch on. Let's try again. Yeah. So I don't know if you can see my light bulb at the back. Yeah, it's just above here. Yeah. Let's see what it actually does. Right, that flashing, that is the PFC, I'm sure. And I can also hear the power supply come on. So I'm going to switch off the light bulb out of circuit. And I'm going to try this without, yeah. Fingers crossed now, but I think this will probably power up. Either that or something's going to go bang, yeah. So you ready for it? Wow. Saying the 12 volt. That's because I haven't got the 4-way plugs in. Yeah, it looks like I've got unless there's some issue with this, like a stability type thing. It looks like I've got a good modular PSU here. Yeah, it only comes with a couple of cables. So I've just got this like 4 8-way one. Yeah, and some for the SATA. Yeah, so I'm a bit short of cables, but it seems to be working. Yeah, let's this is the 4x4 thing, so let's stick that into 62 PCI and 4x4 CPU. So we should be able to put this into here and it shouldn't do anything nasty. Yeah, just stopped bleeping. So yeah, this is a short video, guys. I've got two things that actually work. I mean, this probably was testing under load, but it seems very stable to me. Oh, okay. Unless it has some sort of temperature control, the fan isn't working. I don't know whether that's a problem. Yeah, so maybe this, I need to investigate this to see whether that fan should actually be spinning. Yeah, just switch it off. Take something wood and not metal. The fan spins, it's free. I'm thinking maybe this fan should only spin when it powers up. I think what I'll do is this. I need to have a look at the user manual so it tells us something about this and whether that's actually a fault or whether that's just until it's drawing any power. Let's have a look. Okay, so the thing with the fan isn't a problem, yeah. It's just checked on the internet, on Tinternet. It went on Tinternet. That's the one. They cost some money. I mean, I've seen someone use ones on eBay and they're fetching good money, more than the 10 and the 5. If we put the €15 I spent all together, I could make a profit just from this. Okay, well, missing a few cables, but still, it's a profit, yeah. And it does even say here now, so 0 RPM fan mode and choose a fan doesn't spin. It doesn't even spin until the power supply is under heavy load, so it's not going to be a problem in that respect. I think it's working. Okay, so that wants a test, yeah, it wants testing, but rather surprisingly that works. Oh, that's great, and it's also a bit of a shame because I bought this hoping to make a good repair video of a more modern power supply. Oh well, wasn't to be, yeah? Okay guys, that's got to be the shortest card booty ever, but it was a bit of fun, yeah. I think I found a use for that computer. And if I don't, I'll find a use for that big power supply, I'm sure. Okay guys, see you all now. Ciao for now, see you soon.